The episode starts off with a diary entry from my girl Moesha. The topic is love, and it turns out that her and Q are going through it because it's been about 2 weeks since he broke up with her, saying that they needed some space. Then we cut to the Mitchells attempting to have a normal family breakfast together, but then they are reminded that hungry ass Hakeem is on the way, and this time he's bringing company. This is where we meet Hakeem's cousin Omar, and we find out that Omar and Hakeem are two totally different people. Whereas we already know Hakeem does not mind just inviting himself to them people dinner table, Omar doesn't indulge until Dee invites him to. In fact, Omar and Hakeem are so different that our girl Moesha is like, where you been hiding him at? Hakeem tells her like, girl, you already know Omar. He used to come spend the summer with me all the time because y'all know Hakeem and Moesha grew up beside each other. This causes Moesha to remember Omar as a nickname she must have gave him when they was little, Buckethead, and she's like, oh, I guess you can grow out of ugly. Now we're at the den where we find out that both Kim and Niecy got dates tonight. This is a problem for Moesha because since Q dumped her, for the last 2 weeks, all she been doing is hanging out with them. And to make it even worse, homeboy currently entertaining somebody else right now. Kim and Niecy end up ditching Moesha to go get ready for their dates. But just as Moesha was down on her luck and her back was up against the wind, Omar shows up and he asks her, can he join her? Moesha is like, under one condition, you can join me at the movies. So now they got them a little date. But before they walk out of the den, Moesha makes it a point to stop and say something to Q so he can see her with Omar. You know, she ain't slick. Now we're at a restaurant that I guess Moesha and Omar decided to go to after their little time at the movies together. After a little playful banter between the two, Omar ends up asking Moesha like, okay, who we trying to make jealous, because he obviously saw the interaction between her and Q. Moesha tries capping about her feelings for Q, but Omar sees through that and she just ends up breaking down and telling him about what went on between them. She says that she guessed her and Q started liking each other a little too much and he told her that he needed space. She tells Omar that she doesn't understand and ends up asking him for some advice, and Omar tells her that Q has a roughneck image to uphold and he can't uphold his image if he get all soft around Moesha. He basically tells her that Q has a fear of intimacy. Moesha is impressed by Omar's intellect and she ends up telling him that she's never had an intellectual conversation with a guy she liked before. You know, she starts being just a little flirtatious and Omar is being just a little hesitant. Then the two are interrupted and we are introduced to Tracy. The writers make it clear to see that Tracy is what a lot of 90s black movies and TV shows thought was the proper portrayal of an openly gay black man. While Omar and Tracy are catching up, Moesha ends up clearing her throat to draw attention back on her. Then Omar introduces her to Tracy, and right off the bat, Tracy is giving Moesha a lot of attitude. Tracy ends up asking Omar where has he been. He says it seems like Omar just dropped off the face of earth, letting us know that Omar and Tracy got history. Then I guess Moesha went to the bathroom and came back, and when she came back, she asked Omar was he ready to go, but then Tracy was like, no, I got this friend, they having this party, y'all should come. Omar tells Moesha that they should go to the party because it sounds like it's gonna be fun, but then Moesha starts coming up with a lot of excuses for why she don't want to go to that party. She says that she has curfew. Omar is like, it's only 9 o'clock. She says that her family are Jehovah's Witnesses. Then Omar is like, well, at least let me walk you home, but she like, no, just go ahead and go to the party. So Omar leaves with Tracy to go to the party. Now we're back at the den where Moesha found Kim and Niecy, and she tells them that she needs to discuss something with them and that they need to keep this on the down low. She tells them that she went out with Omar and she's like, we were having a good conversation, then Tracy showed up and they left me. But clearly they invited her to that party too, but whatever. By the name Tracy, Niecy is obviously assuming it was a girl, so she like, another girl walked off with your date? But Moesha was like, no, Tracy was a man. Then she proceeds to tell them that she thinks Omar is gay. Moesha's fly ass braids had to have been too tight if she thought that Kim and Niecy were going to keep that information to themselves. So now we're at school and Q comes up to Moesha and he tells her that if she wants to make him jealous, she should try by going to a real man. So obviously those gay rumors are spread around the school. Then Hakeem shows up and he's mad at Moesha for going around and lying on his cousin. She tells him that she didn't mean for it to get out and he like, yeah, okay, that's why you told Kim and Niecy, and he ends up telling Moesha, you don't know nothing about Omar, nothing. Omar ends up walking up on this conversation and he asks them what is going on, and Hakeem tries to laugh it off. He's like, oh, nothing really, Mo and her friends just been spreading some crazy rumors about you. He says like, yeah, they've been going around saying you're gay, and Omar is like, oh, okay, what's the other rumors? Look at Hakeem's face. So you already know he ain't even ready to accept no shit like that. So he started laughing it off. He like, but you not gay, are you? They got this man trapped in a corner and put in this awkward ass situation. So of course Omar like, nah, I'm not gay, and he started laughing it off with Hakeem too. When Hakeem leaves, Omar ends up asking Moesha why did she do that, and she's like, well, I thought one thing and I guess I was wrong and I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Rightfully so, Omar gets her together and he tells her that maybe next time she'll mind her own business instead of going around spreading rumors like a schoolgirl. Then Moesha's self-righteous ass is like, well, no, I didn't make up Tracy, and Omar is like, so that makes me gay? Then the conversation is basically like, why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? You are gay. But now Moesha tells Omar, she's like, well, you saw Q one time and you concluded correctly, I might add, that he was fronting because he was scared. And Omar is like, okay. And she's like, well, I think you're fronting because you're scared. So basically she's telling this man like, hey, you gay. I knew it, you knew it, your mama probably knew it, and you just need to come out and be real with yourself and everybody else. Like, that's her place to be telling that man that. Now we're back at the Mitchells and they're having dinner, and the family picks up on the fact that something has got to be wrong between Hakeem and Moesha because he ain't there to eat. Dee ends up asking Moesha what is going on between her and Hakeem, and she tells her about the Omar thing. Then again, somebody got to snatch her by her braids, and Dee tells her like, even if Omar is gay, it is not your business and you shouldn't go around saying it. You know what kids are going to do with that type of gossip. Now we're at the den once again, and Hakeem is still mad at Moesha because he's convinced that she's lying on his cousin, and she tries to bribe him with some food, but even that don't work. Moesha goes over to talk to Kim and Niecy, and she tells them that what she told them about Omar was supposed to have stayed within the circle, and they tell her, girl, you know how we are. Niecy says it's like lighting the fuse and being mad at the dynamite. She know her friends better than we do. She knew they weren't gonna keep that to themselves. Then we find out that Kim and Niecy's messy little asses then went and met Tracy. They telling Moesha that Tracy told them all about Omar, but Miss Self-Righteous Moesha is like, no, I'm not into that type of gossip anymore. Then Moesha goes on stage and she directly dedicates a poem to Omar, and some of the words are, I'm not aware of too many things, but I know what I know, if you know what I mean. As Moesha is reciting her poem, Omar comes in and he goes over and starts talking to Hakeem. And you would think by Hakeem's facial expression that Omar just told him that he was about to off everybody in that den, but no, I'm pretty sure he just told him that he is in fact gay. And look at Moesha, she's so satisfied with it too. She's sitting there looking like, yeah, this was something I needed to do. I needed to get this boy to come out to his cousin even if he wasn't ready. The episode basically ends with Hakeem going over to Moesha's house and she's like, I got my friend back. So I guess the lesson of this episode is that if you think somebody gay and you for sure about it, then it's your job to get them to come out because they're gay and you know it. Yeah, but Moesha, they could never make me hate you. Even though what you was doing wasn't tasteful. Blame the writers, not Moesha. She's just a character. She knows not what she does. She's just a pawn in their game.